accordance with the Defense Authorization Act of 2009. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Good Saturday evening and welcome back to the Hyder Center as we begin a stacked doubleheader of basketball, beginning with the girls' finals for the Metro Holiday Tournament with the top-ranked Millard South Patriots and the second-ranked Omaha Central Eagles. Hello, I'm Tyler Reedy, joined by Brendan Preisman. Pleased to be with you on the Saturday night. And Brendan, it is going to be a fantastic night, no doubt about it.
When we open this up with two undefeated teams colliding, one team will suffer their first loss, and then we've got the same thing in the next game, Chucky Hepburn versus Hunter Salas. But first, we've got Millard South, Omaha Central, two undefeated teams, two teams that have been great all year. Millard South, their scoring margin is 66 to 36. They're winning every game by about 30 points, but they'll face their first true test of the season tonight in Omaha Central, who's winning all their games by about 17 points.
Yeah, it's a number one versus number two matchup, so it should be fantastic competition between these two teams. And you look at how they've gotten here with the tournament bracket. Millard South, they've cruised their way through, highlighted by a 28-point victory over Omaha Westside, who was pulling a bunch of upsets. Couldn't do it over top-ranked Millard South, though. So the Patriots are here on the top side of the bracket, and then on the bottom half, Omaha Central got here with a nice win, 61-39 over Gretna. So you look at how those two games went down on Thursday afternoon and morning, actually. Millard South had the first game in the morning, 56-28 over Westside. And the story of that game, Brendan, was their defense.
I mean, it's just incredible. Both these teams can go on such great runs throughout their games. Like Millard South and Westside, we came into that game thinking, oh, there might be a chance for an upset. Millard South put an end to all that talk quick. They outscored Westside in the first quarter 16-1. But Omaha Central also really good at using defense to fuel their runs. They went on a 19-6 run to really pull away from Gretna in the second quarter of their game, and it was really all down to Ania Jones, their superstar freshman. She's averaging 2 steals a game. She had 17 points versus Gretna, and she really led that defense.
Yeah, and the story for Millard South was that full-court press defense. It was so impressive. Westside could not stop turning the ball over. The defense was so good, shutting everything down. And then, as you said, Omaha Central's offense was fantastic, led by the 17 points from Ania Jones. So This is going to be great competition between a wonderful offense and a wonderful defense.
Yeah, the real battle is going to be height. We saw that Millard South was able to handle Lucy Shonlaw, despite her being 4 inches taller than everyone else on the roster. But how are they going to deal with Omaha Central? Millard South has 2 girls who are 6 feet tall. Omaha Central has 4 girls who are 6 foot or taller, including Nia Powell, who had 8 points against Gretna. So the question is, can Millard South defend in the post? If they can, then they've got a chance to pull the upset on the undefeated Millard South team.
About 90 seconds away from tip-off, let's bring you tonight's starters. First for Millard South. Number 10, Megan Belt, the guard, a junior. Number 22, Cora Olson, a sophomore guard. Number 23, Maya Babbitt, a sophomore guard. She's the leading scorer. put up 18 more points on Thursday afternoon, had a great start to that game. Number 24, Chloe Lemon, the sophomore shooting guard, and number 34, Juliana Jones, the inside girl for Millard South, shooting guard, power forward, the sophomore. She's going to have to be key to match up with that Omaha Central size.
And Jones had kind of a rough game battling Lucy Shawnlaw a couple days ago. Only 2 points, 3 fouls. And the question is she going to be able to defend players like Naya Powell, Atal Lapoyo, maybe even a smaller player like Anaya Webb? Because Omaha Central can definitely score inside, and this may seem like a bit of a lopsided matchup on paper, especially with all Millard South's scorers in the wing positions. But if Omaha Central can win the boards battle by a lot, then they should be able to cruise to a victory.
Taking a look on the other side at the Omaha Central Eagles girls, number 2, Claire Williams, is a junior guard. Number 13, the freshman guard, Ania Jones. She was so impressive in that win Thursday afternoon. And then number 23, Anaya Webb, a junior forward. Number 24, Anaya Wayne, a junior guard. And number 25, Naya Powell, a senior center who's got that size advantage. But what did you see from Ania Jones, especially the freshman on Thursday, that made her so electric in getting all those points?
Well, really it was just the speed. She was so incredible in the fast break situations, many of which she started by getting steals. But she was just making the Gretna defense look foolish at times, able to drive past anyone who was guarding her and get the layup. She played very well. She's going to have to do so again, especially against all these great Millard South guards. They had 4 different players put up double figures against Marion, and that was a couple weeks ago. But all 4 of those players played guard positions. So Ania Jones is going to have to play lockdown defense tonight to help slow down that impressive Millard South offense.
Looking at these two teams, Millard South is the defending Metro Holiday Tournament champion on the girls' side. They beat Westside 54-40 in the championship game last year. And you look at the matchup between these two teams a season ago. It came on January 18th, 2020. It was a Millard South blowout, but Central has come a long, long way since then, and they're hoping they can play on even ground and come out with a bit of an upset win here tonight.
Yeah, and one of the biggest reasons for that, of course, would be Ania Jones. Wasn't here last year when this team went 9-15, but she's here now, and she has really transformed this team into a team that's currently ranked 4th in Class A and thinks that they can fight for the state title.
So it will be Maya Babbitt for Millard South and Naya Powell for Omaha Central to tip it off. Girls final for the Metro Holiday Tournament.
That's an 8-inch advantage for Naya Powell. That goes to show you just how big this height advantage is for Omaha Central. The question is whether they can take advantage of it.
Powell wins it easily. Omaha Central starts with the basketball. Anaya Webb over to Anaya Wayne in the corner. Back up top, stolen by Maya Babbitt. The defense of Millard South makes a play early. Babbitt's going to pull up from downtown. No good. Rebound fought for by Juliana Jones, and it looked like she either fouled or stepped out of bounds there. It'll be Omaha Central basketball.
And one of the things that Central is going to have to do is make sure that the three-pointer can't fall easily for Millard South, because their Gretna game, that was actually close for the first quarter, and a big reason for that was Gretna star Grace Huntworth. She hit a couple of threes.
Layup did not go. It was a great feed from Paul, but basket no good from Anaya Webb. Here's an easy three-pointer. Megan Belt drains it. Millard South off and running with a 3-0 lead, 35 seconds in.
And that's what Millard South may have, or Omaha Central may have to worry about, is those three-pointers, because that's what kept the game close against Gretna.
And there's Ania Jones back the other way for Omaha Central, making it a 3-2 game. Now Juliana Jones for Millard South. Pretty fast-paced start so far. Offenses have won the day to this point.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a battle of who can capitalize off the turnovers. Right now, that's Millard South, but that could change at the drop of a hat, especially with Ania Jones.
Central fired up about their defense as they knock it out of bounds. Possession will stay with Millard South, but plenty of energy between these two teams. Championship game, what you'd expect.
And you could see that especially on the drive by Ania Jones last possession. She just cut straight through that Millard South defense.
Here is Maya Babbitt. Lost the handle, taken away by Claire Williams of Central. Impressive play there to stop the leading score. Now a lead pass is eventually reeled in. Anaya Webb gets it to go on the floater. Central's got their first lead of the night at 4-3.
And both these teams really like fast breaks. Here we go again.
Yeah, Juliana Jones back the other way. Here's the three-pointer. Maya Babbitt comes up short, rebounded by Anaya Wayne. Hands off to Ania Jones. 6:25 to go first quarter.
There's the speed again.
Here comes Jones. She's fouled, and she gets it to go. What a start for Ania Jones, picking up right where she left off on Thursday.
And she's just a freshman. This is incredible. This is a Millard South team that brings back a lot of their production for a team that went 28-2 last year and made it to the state semifinals. And she continues to make their defense look just foolish. Incredible speed by Ania Jones.
To finish the three-point play, free throw goes in and out, rebound poked out of bounds, and Central basketball. So what a start for the Eagles.
We're starting to see the length of Central affect things on rebounds. That was Anaya Webb fighting for the rebound against Megan Belt, and Webb's got a 4-inch height advantage. It's going to be pretty easy for her to win that battle.
Off the inbound,
Ooh.
travel is called, taking a little too long to go for that layup was Nia Paul, and Millard South will take over with 6:21 to go in the first.
And those are the opportunities that Central's going to need to take advantage of. This Millard South team is very, very talented, and if you can't capitalize on every opportunity you get, you may end up regretting it.
Maya Babbitt, oh, beautiful
Ooh.
pass, couldn't be caught, and it's out of bounds. Off of Millard South, Central takes over. Babbitt was looking to get it inside to Cora Olson.
And it looked like there might have been a mix-up. There were a couple of different players cutting for Millard South, and they might have run into each other a bit because the ball did look a little bit far ahead of the cutter. Maybe that's why, but a mix-up there. Central very fortunate that that pass didn't get into the hands of its intended target.
Here comes Ania Jones, 4 points so far, just 2 minutes into the game. Nia Paul tried to dish it inside, taken away by Megan Belt. Millard South back the other way. Belt splits a couple of defenders, goes around another, lost the handle, out of bounds off Central, so Millard South will keep it. But an impressive drive there from Belt.
And a good strip, too, by Claire Williams. The battle between her and Belt might be interesting because we know that South has a lot of strength in the wings. We know that Central has a lot of strength in the bigs. The question is, what are the point guards going to do in this battle? And we've seen Megan Belt and Claire Williams both make plays earlier this week, but they're going to have to blank a lot more tonight.
Offensive rebound off the missed three. Here comes Maya Babbitt, gets it to go, and it's a 1-point game again. So Babbitt with her first 2 points, but now back the other way. Central takes their 3-point lead right back with Nia Paul scoring her first basket of the game.
And this game is turning fast and furious. None of the slow starts we saw on Thursday's games. These teams are just going straight at each other.
Cora Olson drives in on Anaya Wayne, ran into 2 defenders, and she traveled. Central really fired up about that. They've got the momentum so far.
You can hear the fans let you know, and the trouble is going to be that fast break, especially with the height advantage that Central already has. You can see right now, Nia Paul, that's Nia Paul way down the court all alone. If they can get the ball to her, there's probably no one on that Millard South roster who can get the ball if it's a lob pass. So you've got to really consider that if you're Millard South pressing up is, well, what happens if they just throw the ball up? It's probably going to be another layup for them. And you got to wonder how long that press is going to work.
Here comes a three-pointer. Anaya Wayne off the front iron, no good. And another turnover is going to be forced here with 5 minutes to go. Now a battle for the ball. Jump ball, Millard South will take over. So both these teams playing really feisty, aggressive defense so far, what you'd come to expect.
Mm-hmm. And the defense is actually self-perpetuating because as a team, once you get the first turnover or the second turnover, you start thinking, oh boy, we've really got to make good passes. And that leads to even more dangerous passes, which could lead to more turnovers. So both teams really trying to take advantage of the turnovers, but they're both so good on defense that it kind of negates everything.
Lexi Finkenbeiner is checked into the game, and she converts a nice scoop layup to make it an 8-7 game. So Central will come back the other way. 4:40 to go first quarter. Back and forth we go, but wide open. There's the impact of that full court press.
Mm-hmm.
Anaya Webb gets it to go, and a 4-point night for her so far.
And that's the danger of the press. I mentioned it so many times on Thursday. If they get past you, you're in trouble.
Oh, we got a big-time battle for the basketball there. They're going to call the foul against Central, and down there in disbelief is Anaya Webb.
Mm-hmm. You can hear the fans get their reactions to it. The Central fans on the other side standing up and cheering, or the Millard South fans rather, the Central fans letting the referee have it, and you can see the aggressiveness coming. There's a different feel to championship games like this, and it's shown in plays like that. Everybody diving for the ball, 3 or 4 different players on the ground. This is what we come to expect from a title game, and we're not even halfway done with the first quarter yet.
Yeah, I mean, I can barely hear myself think from all the energy in this building right now, and we're only 4 minutes into this one.
And keep in mind, this is like family only, too. Imagine what it would be in a packed house.
Incredible. So Millard South has made a couple changes. Maya Babbitt has checked out of the game. Back in is Megan Belt for the Patriots. And Omaha Central is going to bring Elena Davis in for Claire Williams.
One thing that Millard South might have to start looking at is the mid-range game because the threes have been sometimes there, sometimes not for them. And the post obviously isn't there with that huge height advantage that Central has. So the key for them is going to be hitting the shots in the mid-range, because that might be an area that's vulnerable in the Central defense.
Lexi Finkenbeiner with some nice moves, kicks it out for 3, and it's good. We're tied at 10. It is Chloe Lemon with her first 3 points.
And a great move by Finkenbeiner there. Earlier she drove and scored the layup. She decided to pass that one off.
Oh, way downtown. Anaya Webb is red hot. 7 first quarter points. Central back on top.
And that was an NBA range 3. Holy cow, she had to be at least 3 feet behind the line. That could be a huge momentum-shifting play early in this quarter.
And now here comes Lemon again, trying the scoop layup. She is fouled on the floor. So it'll be a Millard South inbound, trailing by 3. As it looks like they are going to get...
What a shot by Anaya Webb.
They're going to call number 24, Anaya Wayne, for the foul.
I mean, she's averaging 15 points a game this year, but I don't think she's ever had to make a shot like that this season, but she does right there. Huge shot for her, gives them the advantage.
Here's another one. Chloe Lemon, that's going to be an air ball, but it allows it to be kept in momentarily, but just out of bounds there was Megan Belt, so it'll be Omaha Central ball with 3:35 to go.
And that's one thing that Central's got to breathe a sigh of relief about, because Megan Belt basically had a lane to the hoop. If she had been able to stay in bounds, that might have been 2 more points for Millard South. And with the height advantage for Central, you can't let stuff like that happen.
Inside, trying to use the height advantage. Can't get in is Nia Paul. Now Anaya
Why
Webb,
not?
way downtown
Why
again!
not?
Unbelievable, 10 points for Anaya Webb, and a 6-point Central lead.
Holy cow, she's just, oh, steal!
Yeah, and here comes Central again. Eagles trying to make it an 8-point lead, and they do. Anaya Wayne with her first 2, and Omaha Central is rolling.
You can start to feel the momentum shift. Something similar happened in the Gretna game, where Gretna was having their stars getting going, and Central nearly lost all the momentum.
Oh, but there's a 3 to answer. Maya Babbitt with her first one from downtown. She's got 5 points, and it's a 5-point game.
And the points are flying fast and furious now. Both these teams really starting to settle into the pace, and the post is really drawing the defenders in for both teams, because even though Millard South doesn't necessarily have the height advantage, they are driving in a lot, and that's leading to open 3-pointers.
Elena Davis inside. Powell bounce back to Davis. Oh boy, here we go again. Webb is going to come up short this time.
I think the gym might have been brought down if she had made that one. She's basically on fire this entire quarter.
Let's see if Millard South can close the gap here. Lexi Finkenbeiner at the top. Over to Chloe Lemon. Defender almost fell down. And Elena Davis is going to be called for the foul, so that is the second foul now against Central. Lemon draws it on the drive, and we'll see some substitutes check into the game. Cora Olson is back in for the Patriots, and then meanwhile on the other side for Central, Naya Gatkek has come in, Ital Lapuyo has come in, and Dominique Mack has come in.
So Central with a really tall lineup out there on the floor right now, and Millard South has to take advantage by hitting threes.
And they try to do just that, but unable to come up with it there. Maya Babbitt. Central back the other way under 2 minutes to go. Nice pass. Anaya Webb again. Yes! 12 points for Webb. And a timeout is called for. Or is it? What's the call here? Looked like we might have had a timeout. Ref blew the whistle. Central's got to head back over to their bench.
Might have been an inadvertent whistle, perhaps? I'm not sure.
Delay of game warning.
That's something you don't normally see. I wonder if a Central player might have kicked the ball or something after it went out.
Who knows?
But Anaya Webb already over the total she got against Gretna. That was 11. She's already got 12, and she has proven that anyone on this Central team can take over a game.
Here's Lexi Finkenbeiner up at the top. Drives in, back over to Megan Belts. Gonna think about a 3, not taking it as Olson. Nearly turned it over. Belt, nice extra pass. Finkenbeiner from the corner. Off the side of the backboard, no good. And here comes Central the other way, and Nia Webb.
Opportunities that Millard South has to at least get some rim on, because they passed up a couple of those open shots. They can't afford to keep doing that, or at the very least missing them.
There's a shot, no good. Big battle, but there's a height advantage we talked about. Ital Lapuyo puts it back. 9-point Central lead, largest of the game.
If you're 5 inches taller than anybody on the court, you've got a pretty darn good chance to grab a rebound like that.
Here's Cora Olson. Drives in on Ania Jones. Kicks it out Chloe Lemon. Guarded by Webb. Draws the foul. So foul called against Ania Webb, who's got
That's
12
her second.
points. Yep, and
That's
she.
one thing that Central will have to be careful about.
Webb is going to come out of the game for now.
What a
Claire
quarter
Williams
for
checks
her.
in. Yep, 12 points.
Mm-hmm.
Well-deserved seat on the bench. 54 to go in the first quarter.
And this is where Millard South really has to start pressing the advantage. The Central defense appears to be at least having a little trouble with miscommunications on a couple of possessions. They haven't been able to capitalize, but they have to here.
Basket does not go, and then a fight and a foul is called there under the rim as Cora Olson missed the layup, and then
There was Olson tried to get the rebound.
yeah, got herself a foul trying to take it away from Lapuyo, and size advantage already
And
killing Millard South.
she is a player that Millard South cannot afford to have struggle. She had 14 points in both their previous two tournament games versus Marion and Westside. No points so far tonight for her. She's got to get going on offense if they're going to dig back out of this.
Oh, wide open is Lapuyo. We've already seen that a few times. 4 points for her, an 11-point Central lead. How about this?
It's that pressure defense for Millard South. They're bringing their defense up too far and leaving wide open players in the post.
Gonna try to answer with a three. Megan Belt can't do so. Rebound to Nia Jones, and she is fouled. Boy, everything going wrong for Millard South here in this first quarter. Foul was called against Lexi Finkenbeiner. 27.9 to go in the first quarter. Central has 4 fouls. Millard South has 3. But the story is the scoreboard with the Eagles leading the Patriots by 11. Very surprising score. We expected back and forth action. We got it for the first half of the first quarter, but Central has taken over all the momentum in the second half.
The post game and the fast break are really starting to favor Central.
There it is again. Good support there from Nia Gatkek. Kicks it back out. Ania Jones. 10 seconds left. Jones drives in. Jump shot. No good. Oh, it gets in there. How about that? Out and in, and now a foul as it's now a 13-point game. Foul called against Claire Williams with 2.6 to go.
And we've definitely seen it's Ania Webb really start to catch fire offensively in this first quarter, but don't count out Ania Jones. She's still got 6 points. Oh.
And there's a steal. Williams, half-court heave, no good. Off the top of the backboard, but what a start for the Eagles of Omaha Central. 26-13 over top-ranked Millard South.
And the real difference here is that I feel like this is like way too loud. I don't know. It's like the difference in the game so far is that Central has really pressed their advantage in the turnover battle and on the glass. They've done a really good job at turning rebounds and turnovers into points, and Millard South hasn't been able to do that as well as Central has. So they're really going to need to start fixing that up if they want to maybe start to trim into this 13-point deficit a little bit, because in a game that can get as slow as this, because we saw both teams slow the game down really effectively, in a game that can get as slow as this, a 13-point deficit is a lot more like 25. So you're going to really have to do some scoring to get back in it.
So looking at the individual players, Ania Webb for Omaha Central, oh my goodness, 12 points in the first quarter, and she didn't even play all 8 minutes, had to sit out the last 2 because of 2 first quarter fouls, but Webb with 12 points made 2 long-range 3-pointers, and other than being so hot, what was working so well for her? Just being hot, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
and the fact that there's just so many players on Central that Millard South has to consider on defense. They've got to worry about the post. They've got to worry about Ania Jones. They've got to worry about somebody like Nia Powell, who could be in the post, maybe taking a mid-range shot. There's a lot of things to worry about for Omaha Central, or for that Omaha Central makes Millard South worry about. And unfortunately, 25-foot threes aren't one of them.
Nice spin move. Basket no good, though, and there is a foul as reaching over the back after her miss was Dominique Mack.
And you got to be really careful here if you're Central. That makes it 6 team fouls, and free throws could be a very nice way for Millard South to get back in the game.
Yeah, as you said, Central 1 foul away from putting Millard South in the bonus. Here's Maya Babbitt. Patriots need a basket. They've gone cold on offense for the last 4 or 5 minutes. Megan Belt, here's a look. Lemon doesn't take it. Nice shot fake to step around, and then she gets blocked. Height advantage coming in again. And now a nice poke away, but out of bounds. It'll stay with Central, as catching up to Ania Jones there was Cora Olson.
And that's some real trouble for Millard South, because you do everything right on a play. You get the pump fake, you get the drive, and then you end up getting blocked on the floater. I mean, there's really nothing you can do as an offense after that.
Ania Jones from downtown. And the lead is 16 for Omaha Central.
She's got 9.
So Jones and Webb, exactly who you'd expect to have big nights. They're going off early on. Here's Maya Babbitt for Millard South. She's got to get something going. Guarded beautifully, though, by Claire Williams. Gets it inside. Nice shot fake, and drawing the foul is Cora Olson. She will go to the line to shoot 2.
And the pump fake is something that Millard South is going to have to come back to. The only real way that you're able to beat a team that's this big and that blocks this many shots is to pump fake, because that either gets them in foul trouble or it gets them off your back and you don't have a pressured layup anymore. So the pump fake is something that players like Cora Olson are going to have to come back to throughout this game, because that might be the only way that any post shots are going to fall.
Cora Olson makes the first free throw. Millard South is going to have to make a lot of free throws here, try and get back in this game. Can't afford easy misses.
And the foul trouble is something to consider for Central, because only right now Anaya Webb has 2, but that will likely change if Millard South continues to drive.
Yes, Central has put Millard South in the bonus, but they've put another three-pointer in the basket. It's Anaya Wayne, her 5th point of the night. The lead is 18. Here's a 3 for Cora Olson the other way, off the mark, but rebounded by Juliana Jones. Back to Olson.
You got to capitalize off that offensive rebound.
Now a three-pointer. Juliana Jones drains it. How about these two teams making it rain from downtown, and it's a 15-point game again.
And that's the power forward for Millard South, Juliana Jones. And that might be a play that could work too, is trying to draw players like Nia Powell out of the post and take threes, because that's not what Central really came into the game expecting, but it's the only thing that might work.
Nice spin move. Cora Olson with a beautiful and one. Makes it a 13-point game. She's doing some work down there in the paint. So she will go to the free throw line to shoot one more. 6:06 to go in the first half. Checking back into the game for Millard South, Lexi Finkenbeiner. Claire Williams and Anaya Webb will come in for Omaha Central.
And the momentum hasn't quite shifted yet. It's still a 13-point game with 6 minutes to go in the first half, but you can kind of feel it start to turn, especially with a couple nice momentum plays by Millard South down in the post. That makes it 4 points for Cora Olson. All of them gotten in the post on the past 2 possessions, and you got to keep taking advantage of the foul trouble that Central's in.
Can't get out of her backcourt, Ania Jones, and Central's going to have to take a timeout. So, as you said, momentum definitely seems to be shifting. The lead was 18 for Millard South just a couple minutes ago, but it's down to 12. What have you seen from Central that's allowed them to get back in this thing, or from Millard South, rather?
Well, it was a mixture of the really nice 3 by Juliana Jones, which we didn't really expect, because remember, she's listed as the power forward on the program, so you assume that she'd be down low trying to at least mitigate the effect that Nia Powell can have on defense. But she was out for 3. She was looking at Powell, Powell was looking at her, and Powell was basically thinking, oh, you're not going to shoot this. And Jones was like, okay, I think I will shoot this. And it went in. So that might be something that Millard South wants to come back to. And then the other thing is just Cora Olson doing some great work in the post. Spin moves, pump fakes. She's doing it all. Anything it takes for her to get a bucket down there.
5:55 to go first half. 32-20 in favor of Central. Set to inbound it, Anaya Webb leading the way with 12 points for the Eagles.
And you got to wonder if they retooled the full court press at all to avoid long lob passes to the bigs.
Jones gets it over to Claire Williams, cross court, nicely done to get it to Anaya Webb. She's going to drive in. It was a good pass, but unable to haul it in was Anaya Wayne. Millard South will take over. So that'll bring Chloe Lemon back in. Megan Belt will check out for the Patriots. 5:45 to go first half. Maya Babbitt brings it up the court for Millard South.
And you got to keep pressing the advantage you have. Keep driving. Keep getting them in foul trouble.
Juliana Jones, double team. Gets it to the corner for Finkenbeiner. She'll take it to the top. Back to Maya Babbitt. She's got to look from downtown, off the mark. But another offensive rebound, and Cora Olson is fouled.
And that's now 2 on Anaya Wayne. That's the 9th team foul for Central. They've got to be really careful here.
Yeah, how about the work Cora Olson is putting in? Yeah, we asked who's going to be that girl for Millard South that's going to match up with the height that Central has. Cora Olson has been the X factor so far. Can't make the free throw, though.
And that's one thing that you got to hit. If you get the foul, you might as well take the points.
Here comes Ania Jones trying to race around. Finkenbeiner runs clear in to Cora Olson down there. And the foul is called against Olson.
That's 2 on her. And that's the speed of Ania Jones that we thought might be the X factor as well in the pregame. And she shows why there. Able to break the press and get a foul.
Oh, beautiful inside feed, but a little too strong on the layup there was Ania Webb.
She's coming up limping.
Yeah, limping just a little bit. So 5 on 4 for a moment here. Now Webb gets back into play. Jones doesn't take the three, but a great step aside. Can't get the shot to go. And a hard foul there. Finkenbeiner saw the ball loosely in Webb's hands and ran right into her. So foul against Finkenbeiner. Central takes over.
And Webb looking a little banged up on that play.
So checking out of the game will be Cora Olson for the Patriots.
She's got 2, and Finkenbeiner's got 2, so the Patriots do have to be careful about that. But you got to wonder how Ania Webb's potential injury might be affecting Central.
And there's a basket. Ania Webb does it again.
Well, maybe not that much.
14 points for Webb. 4:45 to go first half. Central's lead back up to 14. Scoring has slowed down just a little bit here in the second quarter. Chloe Lemon gets it into Maya Babbitt along the baseline, and reverse layup went off the bottom of the backboard. Great pass on the ground. Wide open look. Babbitt for 3, no good. And it's rebounded by Nia Powell.
Those are the opportunities that you have to convert. You get a great offensive rebound and a great open look. If you can't hit it, then Central wins the battle by really doing nothing.
There's Ania Jones up to 11 points now on the night. 36-20, Central has built their lead back up. Now Finkenbeiner.
And they've done a great job. Central has just capitalized on the opportunities.
From way downtown, Lemon comes up short, rebounded by Webb. And she will settle it down for Omaha Central. Millard South defense has not been what it was at all when they were so good on Thursday. Omaha Central has broken through easily.
Central's been able to capitalize on their opportunities. Millard South hasn't. That's been the difference right now.
Nia Powell, size advantage. Shot does not go, and now taking it back the other way. Finkenbeiner, guarded off by Williams, able to float it to Megan Belt in the corner. Drives in, kicks it out. Juliana Jones. Kick out again. Megan Belt from downtown comes up just short, but right there for the rebound. Extremely uncontested there was Chloe Lemon.
And the box outing by Central starting to get a little lax, and you can see teams sometimes slip in their focus when they get a lead this big, but you can't slip that badly. Chloe Lemon unguarded on the block. Easy rebound for her. Kind of looked like a pass off the backboard, and it results in 2 desperately needed points for the Patriots.
Ania Jones over to Claire Williams. 14-point lead for the Eagles. 3 minutes to play in the first half.
And you can see they're really slowing the game down now and trying to get the ball into the post.
Nice pass fake there. Jones able to get free. Jump shot doesn't go, but there's Powell with another rebound. She's going to work under the basket. Layup too strong, and foul. No, jump ball is called. Jump ball, and possession will go to Millard South.
And that's a good defense there by Millard South to avoid another Eagles basket. Got a little lucky there, but sometimes that's what you need. You need a bit of a lucky break to dig back out of a 14-point hole. And what they're going to have to do is get a lot more of those lucky breaks. But what they should do is keep crashing the offensive glass, because a lot of those fouls that we see for Central, they're at 9 now. A lot of those have come after offensive rebounds when they've gotten maybe a little desperate, a little upset, and just thought they had to foul to prevent the score. Millard South hasn't really been able to capitalize on those free throws. They're 2 of 4 right now, which not great, not terrible, but eventually they're going to start capitalizing on those. So Central's got to be really careful to bottle up the post and don't even allow a situation where you could be shooting even more free throws for Millard South.
Yeah, Omaha Central committed a lot of fouls before going into the penalty, before they got to 7 fouls, but they've done a nice job playing a little cleaner, keeping Millard South off the free throw line since the Patriots got into that bonus.
I mean, the real issue is if Millard South can keep pounding the ball inside and keep using the pump fake to get the foul, because if they're able to do that, then that'll spell real trouble for Central, because that could start to negate the height advantage they've got if everybody's in foul trouble.
Here's Juliana Jones, guarded by Lapuyo. Over to Megan Belt at the top. Finkenbeiner on the far side. Beautiful inside pass. Foul and 1.
Look who it is.
Cora Olson again putting in work in the paint. She's up to 6 points.
And that means that Millard South is now shooting 2 free throws for the rest of the half, and that is 10 fouls on the Central Eagles. They've got to be really careful with that, because right now Lapuyo, she's got one. Pal's got one. And then you've got a couple players with two. You've got to be really watchful if you're the Omaha Central coaching staff of who you can keep in the game and who you might have to take out.
Patriots drawing back into the mix again. It's an 11-point ball game as a foul is called against.
Looks like that's Chloe Lemon.
Yep, called against Lemon, against the Patriots. So
And
Omaha
it was
Central.
Ania Jones that drew it again. She's done very well at controlling the ball on the fast break.
Omaha Central is a Patriot foul away from going into the bonus as Lemon will check out of the game for now. Maya Babbitt comes back in. Here's Ania Jones. 2:25 to go in the first half. Impressive stuff from Central so far. And here comes Claire Williams. Pull-up jump shot. Off the mark, but pulled in nicely. Lapuyo making it look easy with the offensive rebound and the
She's got
putback.
6 first-half points, and 4 of those have come directly off offensive rebounds.
Oh, how about Maya Babbitt racing down the court and getting it to go with the left hand, and it's an 11-point game again. So Babbitt with 7 points, tied for the Patriots lead, and here's a steal. Jones lost it. Megan Belt to Cora Olson, takes contact, and it is a shooting foul against Omaha Central.
That's on Claire Williams. That's her second. And you can really start to sense the frustration on the Central sideline. Even though they're up, they're not really liking a lot of these calls. And it's Cora Olson again to the line. These will be her 6th and 7th free throws of the quarter.
Wow. Here
She's just been doing a great job at attacking the rim.
Number 6 is no good. 1:53 to go in the first half. Olson trying to make it a 10-point game. Millard South has done a nice job to make some inroads on this deficit. Let's see if they can keep the momentum going before halftime. Second free throw is good.
It's a 10-point game.
Olson now with 8 points. Here's Claire Williams. 1:50 to go.
And they're still giving it to Ania Jones to break the press, and she's so good at that.
Nice pass over to Williams again. They keep lobbing it over Megan Belt as it gets over eventually to Anaya Webb. Back to Ania Jones.
And Central really starting to slow down the pace. Millard South was using their speed to get back in this game, and Central was basically saying, oh, no, you don't. We're just running the slow game now.
Jones against Belt. Up top. Over to Claire Williams. 1:25 to go. Williams waiting for an option, and that time the post game does not work for Central. Jones with the steal.
Oh, dangerous
and
play.
Spikes it right over to Nia Gatkek, who throws it too far and out of bounds there. So some quick changes of possession there. Intense action near midcourt, but eventually Millard South does take over with 1:14 to go.
And a great play by Juliana Jones there to read what was happening and steal the pass away from Lapuyo. Good play by her, and it does end with Millard South taking back possession.
Olson kicks it out to Finkenbeiner. Back to Cora Olson. Over to Megan Belts. Juliana Jones going to have another look. Wide open three is no good. So not this time for big number 34. Here comes Central the other way. 50 seconds to go. Claire Williams over to Anaya Webb.
She's been quiet this quarter.
Yep, still leading the way with 14 points, and she is fouled by Megan Belt.
That'll send her to the line because that's bonus now.
Yep.
For Central.
7 fouls against Millard South, so 1-1 coming up for Anaya Webb as Millard South will make a change. Miranda Kelly will see her first action of the night, and Cora Olson will come out. Here's the first free throw. Front end of the 1-1 for Anaya Webb is good. 15 points.
And she was key in the first quarter to give them that big lead, but now it's slowly starting to chip away at it is Millard South. And they did a lot of it with her either on the bench or trying not to foul. So you got to wonder if her not being on the court was really what helped fuel that mini Millard South run, and maybe if it'll stop now.
12-point game. Here's Megan Belt for the Patriots. Over to Finkenbeiner. Jones going to have another look from three. No good. Babbitt's got the rebound, though. She's going to have to back out from Lapuyo. Lapuyo still guarding her. Now over to Finkenbeiner. Here's the three-pointer. Megan Belt is no good, and Lapuyo reaches back for the rebound.
2 chances for Millard South, and they can't take advantage of it. Central maybe a little lucky, but a lot really good at defense.
10 seconds to go. Ania Jones, step back. Three-pointer, no good, but it's rebounded by Nia Gatkek. Gets it to Claire Williams. Left-hand shot, no good. Lapuyo with the offensive board and the putback. And that'll take us to the end of the first half. Omaha Central, as impressive as ever. 42-28 over Millard South. as Atala Puyo with her 7th and 8th points of the night there on that basket. She
Awesome.
continues to do work on the
that's
boards.
her third basket directly off of an offensive rebound. And Central definitely continuing to impress us. They're using their speed and their size so well. They got a big lead at the end of the first quarter, and then they started slowing the pace down a little bit. It was 26-13. Both teams scoring a little bit less this quarter, at least Central is. They slowed the pace way down, only putting up 16 in the quarter. And that shows you that both these teams are really good at holding leads because they both have the personnel to slow the pace down and just keep pounding away at the ball and get the open shots that they want and then shut the other team down.
Can Millard South come back to win their 2nd consecutive Metro Holiday Championship, or is it Omaha Central's turn? Stay with us for the second half to find out. Welcome back to the Hyder Center. Girls championship game for the Metro Holiday Tournament about to begin the second half of play. Top-ranked Millard South struggling with second-ranked Omaha Central. Central leads 42-28, and Tyler Reed and Brendan Prizeman with you. And Brendan, what was it for those that are just joining us that allowed Omaha Central to jump out to that lead?
The first half, it was just Omaha Central's two best offensive players, Inia Jones and Anaya Webb. Jones had 12 points in the first quarter, and Webb did, and then Jones has just been consistent as ever. She's got, I think,
11 points.
11 right now, so they're both already in double figures, scoring a lot of points. And in the second quarter, Cora Olson really tried to drag Millard South back into it. She had 7 points, basically all of them coming either off of layups or free throws, but it wasn't quite enough after that big first quarter lead that Central got. And we mentioned in the pregame that both these teams like to go on quarter-by-quarter runs. Nothing happened in the second quarter. First quarter was all Central. And Millard South, they're used to being up big by now. Yep. They've never really had to come back from a deficit at all this year. We'll have to see if they can now.
Here's Ania Jones. Central begins with the basketball, and you want to talk about a lesser-known impact player for Central. It's been Atau Lapuyo. Offensive rebounds, 8 points. She's on the bench right now, but has had a big impact.
6 of those points have come right off offensive rebounds.
Here's a foul called on the floor as driving in was Anaya Webb. Millard South got into the double bonus in the first half. They commit their first foul right there, 16 seconds into the second.
The issue with the double bonus, though, is that they weren't really able to convert anything off it. Only 7 free throw tries taken, all of those from the hands of Cora Olson. So if they're going to keep getting Central in foul trouble, they might as well do something with it.
Inside, Webb was looking to get it to Nia Powell, but knocked out of bounds by Maya Babbitt. Possession stays with the Eagles. Another inbound going to Powell again. This time she's got it. Webb working on Juliana Jones. Steps back over to Ania Jones. Jones, nice move to get around Belt. And the shot does not go. Pulled in on the rebound by Megan Belt. Here she comes the other way. Patriots trailing by 14. Over to Chloe Lemon. Crosses, gets it over to Cora Olson. Tight defense from Anaya Webb. She's been a good defender today. Olson able to get to the basket, but the tough shot comes up short. And here comes Anaya Webb the other way on a fast break. Webb straight ahead. Gets it to number 24, Anaya Wayne, for the basket.
Webb is down again. She made a great pass and then took, I think, a hit from behind and ended up nearly sliding into the bleachers. No cardboard cutouts tonight because there's no prep game. But yeah. Kind of seems a little sad that there's nobody there. But you got to hope Webb's okay because that's the second fall she's taken. First one, she came up limping afterwards, but she seemed to recover pretty quickly. Wonder if it's the same for this one or if that's a little bit more severe.
Megan Belt looking for a shot, decides not to take it. Juliana Jones with a sidestep. Over to Belt, wide open three from the top, and it's good. 13-point game, Megan Belt from downtown.
She's got 6, both of them off threes. Uh-oh.
Yeah, and right the other way, there's a foul called against Millard South as getting right to the basket, Nia Paul. Size advantage continues to work in Central's favor.
And the foul's on Maya Babbitt, but that's really a kind of foul you have to make. If you're close enough to the player that you can prevent them from just making the layup, I mean, you might as well.
Yeah, I mean, Central's going to make their layups with their size under that basket.
Free throws, though, a little bit more dicey proposition.
There you go. Comes up short with the first one.
And we see Central continuing to try and speed up the game because that's where they've been at their best is when the game speed up. We saw them slow it down near the end of the first half and hold on to that lead, but they can run with the best of them in Class A, and they've been doing so here tonight.
Another free throw comes up well short, so the foul doesn't harm Millard South at all, and here comes Chloe Lemon the other way for the Patriots. Dishes off to Juliana Jones, back to Lemon. Lemon drives in, got around a couple, beautiful work there, and the lead back down to 11. Chloe Lemon with a nice play.
Yeah, the drives have been kind of few and far between.
That shot does not go from Anaya Wayne, and able to pull it in is Juliana Jones. Oh, breaking ankles there.
That's the big man.
Jones has done it all tonight for Millard South. Here goes Lemon. Same play as last time, and this time she's going to get fouled on the shot.
And that's now 2 on Nia Powell.
And the Patriots coming out, playing with a little bit of fire here to start the second half. Closing the gap here on Central.
And one of the big things, I think, for them, their offense is mainly derived off of driving and open three-pointers. The open three-pointers didn't really fall in the first half, so now they're kind of turning to the drives, and those are really starting to succeed. Even if they're not really getting the layups to fall, most of the time they're getting a foul, and that'll make it, I think, the 13th total team foul for Omaha Central. No, only the 12th, but they've really got to be careful, the Eagles do, for foul trouble.
Lemon goes 1 for 2 from the line. She's up to 8 points, tied for the team lead. Omaha Central's lead has been cut down to 10 points. Oh, beautiful move there to split the defense. That was Anaya Wayne, kicks it out to Anaya Webb. She drives in, and it's going to be a jump ball, Patriots ball. What a play by Maya Babbitt.
That was incredible. I thought they were going to call a foul, but she just ripped the ball from Webb's hands, and you can really feel the motivation coming from the Patriots side of things. They're really starting to play well. They've already cut 4 points away from the lead, and it's back down to 10.
Yep, here they come. Megan Belt, under 6 minutes to go in the third quarter, over to Juliana Jones. Chloe Lemon has the last 3 Patriot points. Spins on Ania Jones. How did she get that shot off? It's no good, and a foul is called on Jones, it looks like, going for the rebound. It is Juliana Jones.
That's her first, but that's something you really can't afford if you're Millard South. You're down 10. You're trying to build yourself back into the game, and you go a little too hard on a rebound that's probably already in the hands of Central. That's something you don't need to do. And they've changed up the press a little bit. Look, they're trying to face up on the guards that are trying to get the ball, and they're trying to deny them the ball. Let's see if it works.
They do get it into Ania Jones. Lexi Finkenbeiner has checked into the game for Millard South. Juliana Jones coming out. Oh, beautiful pass there. A one-touch play there as Anaya Wayne gets it to Nia Powell. 12-point lead again for Central.
And Central's such a great fast break team, and they show you why. They're really unselfish, and a really nice play by Anaya Wayne.
Megan Belt with 5:20 to go in the third. Cora Olson, Maya Babbitt at the top, trying to get around, and that is a foul called on the floor.
That's now 3 on Claire Williams, if that's who the call is on.
It is Williams, yep.
And then Anaya Webb, Anaya Wayne, and Nia Powell all have 2, so that foul trouble continuing to be an issue for Central, especially with that lead starting to shrink.
And there's an inbound there, and a foul right off of it is getting underneath the basket. Chloe Lemon, she's off to a nice start to the second half.
And that's...
It was a shooting foul,
and
so she'll go to the line.
That makes it 3 on Nia Powell. And Central's going to call the timeout here.
Yeah, things getting interesting.
Mm-hmm. And we've seen Millard South get a lot more opportunities in the post than you'd expect, considering the height disadvantage that they've got. But maybe that's why they're just getting into the open spaces more quickly than Central is, and they're really starting to take advantage now. Foul trouble now seriously becoming an issue for the Eagles.
5:16 to go in the third quarter. Chloe Lemon has gone on a bit of a hot streak along with her Patriots team to start the second half. She's up to 8 points, tied with Cora Olson for the team lead. Maya Babbitt close behind with 7, then Megan Belt with 6. And on the other side, all of the high scores that were going off in the early part of the first half for Central have really cooled down. And Nia Jones has been stuck on 11 for a while, and Nia Webb had those quick 12, as he said, but only up to 16 now. Let's see what Lemon can do from the free throw line, shooting 2. First one up, and it is good.
And again, the free throws are going to be more important if this lead continues to dwindle for Central, because these are points that Millard South has to get in their fight to really claw back from this deficit against a team that's probably their equal talent-wise, if not better.
Deficit is back down to 10. Lemon is up to 10 points-wise. Here comes Central with Claire Williams, still in the game with those 3 fouls, as he said. Gets it over. Taking the 3, and Nia Wayne comes up short. And rebounded by Megan Belt. 5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Patriots coming back the other way. Chance to trim the lead down to single digits. Finkenbeiner had a look from the corner, didn't take it. Megan Belt's going to take it from the top, and it's good. 7-point game. Megan Belt again from downtown.
3 triples for Megan Belt. And that 7 points looks a lot smaller than 10 points on the scoreboard. Central probably really needs a score here.
Oh, there's Lapuyo making a great play there to make the catch and draw the foul.
Mm-hmm.
She has made a massive impact under the basket today.
That's now 3 on Cora Olson. And yeah, Lapuyo back in really causes a dilemma for that Patriot defense, because they've got to guard her somehow. But they've also got to prevent the perimeter shots.
Oh, they get the steal, though. Megan Belt takes it the other way. A little stutter step on Ania Jones, and she is fouled. So both teams now with 4 fouls, and Nia Jones the guilty party. And Millard South getting back into the mix here.
But yeah, you can really start to sense the tide turning a little bit against Central and a little bit more toward Millard South. That's a steal that really shouldn't have happened for Central, but that puts Megan Belt at 10 as well. But Millard South is really coming out of this half with a fire that you wouldn't really expect to see from a team that's won all their games by about 30 points. Normally, if you're a team like this and you get punched in the mouth, you're too shocked to really recover, but Millard South has done a great job at fighting back into this game.
Nia Gatkek, Dominique Mack have checked in for the Eagles. Juliana Jones will do the same for the Patriots, and Millard South free throws, they're starting to make a lot of them, making those opportunities.
That's already 5 this quarter, and it's only a 5-point game.
So Megan Belt goes 2 for 2. She's up to 11, but here comes Central the other way. Potential 2-on-1. Anaya Webb falls down, and it is a travel.
Yeah, that's a good call by the ref, I think.
It is, yeah.
It looked like she took a couple of steps, then started to fall, fell into, it was Juliana Jones as the defender, and one of the foul call didn't get it, and a great play by Juliana Jones to get back on defense and force Webb into that turnover.
5-point game. We're getting just what we expected between
Oh,
these two.
you can't
and
do that.
Another travel this time. Juliana Jones of the Patriots.
You got to take advantage of turnovers.
So Omaha Central takes it back with 4:20 to go in quarter number 3. Anaya Webb will inbound.
And the press still on.
Yep, here comes Ania
They've
Jones.
done a much better job at
Turns
it.
it over. She threw it right to Juliana Jones. Over to Maya Babbitt. Finkenbeiner in the corner. Nice extra pass. 3-point look. Nearly banked in. No good from Cora Olson. And here come the Eagles. Jones straight ahead. Beautiful pass and a foul on the shot there. Nia Gatkek is going to go to the line for 2. Looks like they got the foul against
It's Juliana
Jones,
I think. That's only her second. But a really nice fast break, and that shows you just how quickly Central's fast break can turn things around. A great outlet pass resulting in the foul, but now you got to capitalize on the free throws.
Nia Gatkek shooting 2. First one up and comes up short.
And Central has really struggled on the free throws this half. That's now 0 for 3 for them. And those 3 points looking increasingly larger on that scoreboard as the deficit continues to be trimmed away by Millard South.
Chloe Lemon, who's been the best second half player for the Patriots so far, comes back in. Second free throw made by Gatkek, her first point. Here come the Patriots trailing by 6, under 4 to play third quarter. Here's Lemon, kicks it out to Jones. Finkenbeiner in the corner, nice pass. Babbitt from downtown, no good. She struggled from beyond the arc tonight, and it goes out of bounds. Central basketball with 3:44 to go.
And a great play there by Dominique Mack, using the height advantage over, I think it was Juliana Jones, to end up tipping that ball out of bounds. They ruled it off Jones. Great play by her to prevent another offensive rebound, and that's one that Millard South might have needed.
And Nia Jones, another long pass, couldn't be reeled in, out of bounds. Nia Jones really trying to force those passes all the way down the court. Some have succeeded, but some, as you saw right there, have failed as Gatkek couldn't pull it in.
That's still only a 2 or 3 possession game, so this is something where Central really needs to start avoiding those turnovers.
Chloe Lemon doesn't step into the 3, instead drives and gets a beautiful layup to go. It's a 4-point game. Chloe Lemon, 12 points. What a second half she's off to.
She's got 7 in the quarter. She's just been incredible on the drive.
And Nia Jones, 3:15 to go. Double teamed. Excellent pressure, but a foul from Millard South.
And it looks like that's on Lexi Finkenbeiner. That's her third. And for someone who's really not in the scoring rotation as much as you'd expect, she's been playing quite well. She's playing more of the defensive role for the Patriots this tournament, but you got to avoid fouls like that if you want to stay and play the defensive role, because that's now 3 on her. She and Cora Olson both with 3, only two really in foul trouble right now for Millard South.
Megan Belt comes out of the game for Millard South. Atal Lapuyo goes out for Central, and it's out of bounds off Central, so Millard South has a chance to make it a 1-possession game on this possession.
And that was a great cut by Anaya Webb, but they just can't take advantage of it. Great active hands from the Millard South defense.
Chloe Lemon, 1-score game as she puts it in for 2.
Here we go. And look at the press. It's back on again.
14 points for Lemon. Central able to get out of their back court. Here comes Dominique Mack.
Oh.
And a foul is called against Millard South.
So that means Central's now in the bonus, I think. That's the 7th, I believe, on Millard South. And that is
7.
It's called on Finkenbeiner. That's her 4th, so she's probably done until the 4th quarter. But now the free throw game, although as we've seen a little bit earlier in this half, Central's kind of struggled with those.
Maya Babbitt checks in for Finkenbeiner, as Dominique Mack will go to the line for a 1-and-1. 2 big free throws right here. First one is up and good. So Central back up by 3. Mack with her first point of the evening.
And Mack is going to have to play a bigger role down the stretch. She's 6'2", only averages about 5 points, 3 rebounds. But with everybody else starting to get in foul trouble, she might have to play a bigger role down the stretch.
Second free throw rimmed out. Here is Cora Olson. Millard South can tie it with a 3. Instead, Olson tried to go for the 2, and it's going to be a jump ball. Possession goes to Omaha Central.
And again, showing you what length can do. Nia Powell with a great play to force the jump ball on Olson. Just really put her hand on the ball and brought it down. And if you're Cora Olson, you got to be wanting that play back, because that could have been huge if she'd been able to draw the foul.
Central with a 3-point lead, 2.5 to go in the third. Ania Jones over to Anaya Webb on the near side.
And now they're really going to start to slow it down. Millard South's already back in the game. They can't afford to let them take the lead.
Inside, there's Mack. And it's a 5-point lead for Omaha Central. Now Maya Babbitt the other way. Olson going to load up a 3, no good. Off the back iron and rebounded by Omaha Central with 2:05 to go.
And this is where Central has to push the pace. Really got a chance to assert themselves.
Oh, Webb didn't take the 3 as she's done all night, and instead she is called for the travel. Millard South takes over, and you gotta avoid unforced errors in this close game.
I mean, when you're up, you might have to avoid errors even more than when you're down, because when you're down, you just gotta be like, okay, I gotta get a stop on defense. But if you're up, that can hurt you even more mentally, because you're just like, oh boy, we keep making stupid mistakes, and now they're back in the game, and you can just get in your own head.
Chloe Lemon, long 3-point shot is no good, and the rebound.
Great rebound by Nia Powell.
There's the height from Powell, and she is fouled by, it looks like, Cora Olson. So it will remain.
And you can see the Central fans look a little confused with that call. It was Cora Olson. That's 4 on her now. And it looked like she might have actually stripped the ball from Nia Powell, but I guess the refs decided that she did it just a little too hard, because that is a foul. You can't slap down on the ball, or the refs will call it. You got to be careful with that.
Miranda Kelly has come in for Cora Olson. Remember, Central is in the bonus, so this is a 1-and-1 here for Powell, and the first one does get the roll.
So probably it might be a necessary roll for Central. Extends the lead back to 6, and huge morale boost for Powell, who missed her first 2 free throws well short.
That one comes up well short. Millard South takes the rebound, heads back the other way. Able to get around a couple defenders, but running into one with no whistle, and now there is a whistle. Timeout Millard South, as running into some trouble there was Chloe Lemon.
And this might be a timeout that Millard South really needs to talk things over. It's a 6-point game. They're really back in it for good now, unless Central just goes on an incredible run. So what they've really got to do is be careful. They don't need to do anything desperate like they did when they were down 16. They can really just get the shots they need, get the points they need, and then just play the defense they've been playing, because they've been playing some incredible defense this quarter. They've only given up, I think, 7 points this entire quarter to Central. They've done an incredible job at really getting back into it. Like, we saw what they could do against Westside, outscored them 16-1 in the first quarter, and something similar appears to be happening here.
Omaha Central came out of their huddle very quickly. Now Millard South does. 1:43 to go in the third quarter. Central clinging to a 6-point lead. Millard South has closed the gap. It was an 18-point lead at one point in the second quarter.
And all the scoring this quarter has been from either Chloe Lemon or Megan Belt. They've both been incredible.
Inbound to Belt. In the corner. Guarded tightly by Nia Wayne.
And they don't want her to get another open 3.
Belt over to Maya Babbitt. Into the corner. There's an open girl there, but no good. Back to Babbitt. Still waiting at the top. Back near the half-court logo. Now thrown over to Miranda Kelly. Long pass. Oh, what a dime there! And the N1. Chloe Lemon again, 16 points.
What a quarter she's having. That's 11 this quarter. She could make it 12 if she hits the free throw.
So with 1:18 to go, she'll have a chance to finish the three-point play. What a pass it was from Miranda Kelly.
And that's the second foul on Mack. So Central pretty darn close to putting Millard South in the bonus as well. That's 5 fouls in this half on them. And we've got a 3-point ball game.
Chloe Lemon has come out of nowhere. 17 points, leads all scores.
Oh.
But there's a scorer doing score things right there, Ania Jones. 5-point lead again
First
for
bucket
Central.
of the half, and that's one they desperately needed.
13 points for Jones. Here comes Belt. Stops up at the top. Over to Miranda Kelly. Drives in. Kelly looking for something. Gets the layup to go. Her first 2 points of the game. And the lead back down to 3.
There's been almost no resistance to the drives this entire third quarter for Central. It's almost like they're thinking, okay, we've got a big man back there. We can just do whatever we want on defense. But you can't do that because eventually the guards are going to get around the big man. They're just faster.
Claire Williams, 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Inside, Dominique Mack.
Great defense by
Can't get it to
Miranda
go. Excellent defense, as he said. Now wide open. Chloe Lemon, another basket. 19 points. The deficit is 1. Now here comes Central. Pass out of bounds, knocked out by the Patriots, so Omaha Central will keep it with 15.2.
They have to hold for this last shot here. They can't afford another turnover because the Central fans really starting to make themselves heard as they have just come all the way back from an 18-point deficit to make this a ball game again. And if there's another turnover, because remember, Central has turned the ball over on the inbound before. If there's a turnover leading to a score, then you got to be Central in the Central huddle. They're just probably dejected because you had a 14-point lead at half, extended that to 16 and 18 for a bit, and now you're losing. So you can't afford that. You got to hold this shot here.
Anaya Webb is checked in for Omaha Central. Caitlin Lessig is checked in for the first time for Millard South. 7 seconds left. Eagles looking for the final basket. Webb, way downtown, no good. And that'll leave the Patriots with 1.5 to go.
And I can see why Webb did that, but that was not a very smart decision by Anaya Webb. She's made a couple deep threes, but that one well outside of range. There's no reason to take that shot.
From 3 quarters down the court, no good from Megan Belt. Fourth quarter about to come. 8 minutes left to decide the girls champion for the Metro Holiday Tournament. Millard South, after trailing by 18 at one point, has closed the gap. It's 53-52 Omaha Central.
They put up 24 in the quarter. And what that does is that negates what Central did in that first quarter to take the lead. A great first quarter from Anaya Webb. She had 12 points all by herself, and Central took a 26-13 lead. But that lead is evaporated now. The only difference is what Millard South, or what Central did in the second quarter, and that quarter was basically even. The final scoreline for the second quarter is 16-15 Central. That point is the only difference right now, and that point could really be given back easily if Cora Olson makes one of her many free throws that she took that quarter. So this is a ball game, and it's looking like we're heading for a classic down the stretch.
Yeah, if you're just joining us, Tyler Reedy and Brennan Preisman bringing you the girls' championship for the Metro Holiday Tournament. Top-ranked Millard South, second-ranked Omaha Central. Going back and forth here, 53-52 lead for the Eagles. Millard South can take the lead with a basket on this possession. It'll start in the hands of Maya Babbitt.
Good screen.
Their usual leading scorer. Babbitt over to Belt. She's been money from downtown, and she gets fouled.
And that is 4 on Claire Williams. One more and she's gone. And now Millard South, 1 Central foul away from shooting free throws for the rest of the night.
Elena Davis checking in for Claire Williams.
And now Central's really got to get stops on the drive because they can't afford to foul.
Here comes Maya Babbitt. Back to Cora Olson, kicks it out. Juliana Jones. Chloe Lemon. Fairly open drive to the basket, contested at the last second by Powell, and she forces the miss.
And a great defensive play by Powell, desperately needed after a great screen by Millard South to free the driver.
Ania Jones for Central. 1 point lead. Inside, Powell, back to Jones. Doesn't take the long jump shot. Now gets it back inside. Powell is fouled by Juliana Jones.
That's 3 on her, gotta be careful.
Yep, and with Central in the bonus, that's gonna send Powell, who's been a little iffy from the free throw line tonight, to shoot a 1-and-1. can make it a 3-point lead for Central if she hits them both.
And you can hear the Central fans' displeasure with that call, but sometimes if the person you're guarding has a 3 or 4 foot height advantage on you, that's really all you can do is foul at them and try and make sure that they don't get an open layup. Not necessarily a bad play by Juliana Jones, but a play that'll lead to points for Central nonetheless.
First free throw was good. Second free throw is good. Nothing but net on both. 7 points for Powell. Central back up to a 3-point lead. Here's Juliana Jones for the Patriots. Back to Chloe Lemon. 7:15 to go in the fourth quarter. Lemon, oh, beautiful pass inside, and the basket goes. Nearly an and one there. They don't call it, but 2 points for Cora
Olsen is back to scoring in the post. Wow.
And now driving in, and Nia Jones gets it to go. And the 3-point lead returns for Central.
And the game is starting to speed up again.
Jones up to 15 points. Central wanted to travel. They don't get it. Now Babbitt. Cross court, Juliana Jones.
Oh, a made 3 here would be killer for Central. That would tie the game.
They're looking for it,
but
instead they get a foul against Omaha Central.
That's going to be on Alana Davis. And that's a 1-and-1 now.
In the bonus.
For Maya Babbitt. She's been kind of quiet tonight. She's only got 7 after scoring 11 versus Westside and 12 versus Mary. But maybe this fourth quarter is when she starts to heat up.
That'll bring Nia Gatkek into the game for Omaha Central as Davis checks out following her foul. Babbitt at the line to shoot a 1-and-1. Trying to make it a 1-point game again. First one doesn't get the bounce. Omaha Central with the rebound, and Nia Wayne gets it. And here comes Ania Jones. 6.5 to go in the fourth. Jones, oh, what a lob pass there. Getting it to Powell for the 2.
And the height advantage for Powell is really going to make a big difference. If Central can get the ball to her.
She blocks it, but she did it illegally.
Oh, the fans are furious.
Omaha Central crowd is in an uproar as it was a block from Powell, but a foul in the process.
And it's the same thing with that steal. It's the same thing as that steal. You can't bring the arm down or the ref's going to call it every time. It doesn't matter how good the steal was. It doesn't matter if you didn't even come close to touching the person. If you bring the hand down, the ref's going to see that and think foul.
First free throw doesn't get the bounce. It was a shooting foul, so Chloe Lemon is shooting 2. Itala Puyo will check in.
And to no one's surprise, the ball don't lie chants have started from the Central fans.
I tell you what,
every time.
There's no students in the building, but these Central fans are making up for it. Millard South fans plenty loud on the other side too. Second free throw is good, so Lemon goes 1 for 2 from the line, giving her 20 points.
And that's a timeout now for Central, I believe. They're up 4. And the press for Millard South hasn't really succeeded at what they've wanted it to do. It's done a good job at forcing Millard South to bring the ball up slowly, but it hasn't caused a lot of turnovers, or as many as they'd like. So that press is really going to have to start cooking things up and forcing turnovers for Millard South, because that'll lead to some easy buckets for them, which are buckets that they still need a lot.
Central leading 59-55. Both teams are in the bonus. Patriots have fouled 9 times. Eagles have fouled 8 times.
We're going to see a lot of free throws over these final 6 minutes and 20 seconds.
Yep.
And the only question is how they're going to come, because for Central, the game plan here should probably be put the ball in your offensive creators' hands. Anaya Webb and Ania Jones, get the ball to them and let them work. And then for Millard South, it's really just keep doing what you're doing since halftime, because they've been doing an incredible job at it.
Central.
And no press for Millard South. That's a surprise to me.
Central brings it up with Ania Jones. Working with a 4-point lead, and we got a whistle here. Looks like might have been something on the court. So Central will keep the basketball. It looked like the ref along the baseline went to pick something up in the paint.
Got to make sure there's no danger to the players, I guess.
Yeah, well, they've been busy in the paint tonight, so even more important with this one. Here's Ania Jones with 6:08 to go.
And the question is, how well can
Kicks
Maya
it out.
Babbitt?
Webb for 3, comes up short. She's definitely cooled off. Here's a lead pass. What a reach out by Webb to get the steal. Here she comes. Got to watch out from behind, and there's the steal.
That's a foul.
And
that's a foul on Central.
There's a foul. Hard, heavy collision there.
Holy cow.
Let's see if everybody's okay first and foremost. And down at the bottom of that pile, Megan Belt. I believe they called it on her.
That was
Belt a little shaken up. Seems to be
They
okay.
called that on Belt?
They did, yeah.
Oh, that's a surprise. I mean, it looked like she was going for the ball. She ran into Wayne, so that's 2 on Belt, and you had to hope neither she nor Anaya Wayne are too shaken up for that play, because that was a hard collision.
Wayne will shoot 2 free throws. Millard South has now committed 10 fouls, putting Central in the double bonus. First free throw is good. Wayne with 8 points on the night.
And she's been one of the keys. She only averages 7 points, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, but she had 10 versus Gretna, and she's got 10 again tonight. She's been a pretty key contributor for that defense as well.
Yep, everybody pitching in for Central. Second one is good. 61-55.
The free throw game really starting to loom large in this fourth quarter.
5:50 to go. Here comes Chloe Lemon bringing it up. 24 against 24. Back to Finkenbeiner. Tried to get it to Lemon, couldn't. Kicks it out. Juliana Jones drives in, looking for an option. Now gets it to Finkenbeiner. Lost the handle, and it's out of bounds. Central takes over.
And you can't afford turnovers like that. Millard South has to be more aggressive on offense. And one thing that I'd look at if I were the coaches is tell Juliana Jones to keep shooting threes. She's only got 3 points tonight, but she made one. Another one could potentially be a backbreaker for Central with how much momentum that could swing. But Millard South has to be more aggressive with the shots. If you see an open shot, you got to take it, especially with a 6-point deficit and only about 5 minutes to go.
Here is Ania Jones. Fires it over. Great play to keep it in. Webb's got an open look from downtown. Nothing but net. And Central's back up by 9.
And Anaya Webb is really back in this ball game. First points of the second half, and they couldn't have come at a more crucial time.
There's a drive to the basket. Drawing the foul there is Chloe Lemon. So she will go to the line for 2. Chance to get herself to 22 points on the night.
And that is the 3rd foul on Anaya Wayne, so she's got to be careful. Central, 3 different players with 3+ fouls.
First free throw for Lemon. 5:08 to go. 2 big ones coming up here. First one is good. Getting her up to 21 points on the night.
And she just had an incredible third quarter, and she's continued the hard drives into this fourth quarter. But you got to hit these free throws if you want to keep staying in this game.
Well, she does just that, making them both 2 for 2.
And the press is back on for Millard South.
Yep, Ania Jones able to get through 2, able to get around a 3rd.
Can't let it be broken that easily.
A great pass to Gatkek.
That's a block.
She gets blocked.
That's a travel.
Foul, now travel. There you go, you called it.
Wow.
And Millard South takes over, down by 7.
And that was a hugely needed defensive stop because the press was broken pretty easily. And it was Gatkek who had a really easy chance to score, but some great defensive recovery by Millard South. Multiple players, too. Oh.
Lemon is fouled.
That's 2 free throws.
Yep, she was reached around, and she's going to go to the line.
So now both teams in the double bonus for the remaining 4:49. Lots of free throws coming, fans. Hope you like those.
Yep. I hope you like Chloe Lemon points. We've seen a lot so far, and surely going to see a lot more the way she's playing. 22 points so far.
I mean, these will be her 10th and 11th free throws of the half, and we're not even close to done.
First free throw is good. 23 points for Lemon, trying to put the team on her back.
That matches the total she had against Marion and Westside. Lemon just done an incredible job at drawing fouls this second half.
Chance to make it a 5-point game. Lemon's second free throw. Comes up short, rebounded by Anaya Webb. Central out of their backcourt with Claire Williams.
Ooh, don't foul there.
Triple teamed, and she traveled, so a lot of travel calls starting to mount up late here in this one.
We've seen a lot of mental errors on both sides, but here's where you really want to lock in and do your job well. Central can on that play, but now Millard South's got to capitalize.
Megan Belt to Chloe Lemon, drives in on Jones, kicks it out. Juliana Jones. Finkenbeiner, Belt didn't take the 3. Looking to get around Webb, can't do so. Back out to Jones, drives in, beautiful move, and Jones gets it to go. It's a 4-point game.
And that's why it's important to be a shooting threat on the 3-point line. You can get people to fall for the pump fake and have an open drive. Great play by Juliana Jones there.
Lapuyo continues to do her thing under the basket.
That's 10 for Lapuyo. And Millard South has to guard the block.
3:57 to go. Cora Olson in some trouble. Gets it to Juliana Jones. Kick out. Belt. Three-pointer. It's good. 3-point game as Megan Belt drains another one.
That's her
fourth.
fourth. Holy moly. What a game we've got going here.
3:40 to go.
And the press continuing to make Ania Jones's life at least a little troublesome.
Ania Jones. Lapuyo again. What else is new? Central up by 5. And now we get a foul there, and Megan Belt in some pain down there.
That is now 4 on Anaya Wayne. I mean, you got to wonder what Millard South is thinking, not putting somebody on the block just to guard Lapuyo, because that's all she's doing on the press is she's sitting down there on the block waiting for the pass. And if the press is broken quickly enough, she's going to get an open layup. You got to at least consider how to game plan for that.
Yeah. Belt will go to the line to shoot 2. First one is up and good. 15 for Megan Belt. As we'll see some substitutes. Maya Babbitt comes in for Millard South. And coming in once again for the Eagles, Nia Powell.
And you got to be able to stop the post game if you're Millard South, because that's where a lot of the points have come from for Central this quarter.
To make it a one-possession game. Megan Belt. Yes. She's got 16. 68-65 Central. Under 3.5 to go.
Been basically Belt and Lemon all half. Nothing new here. And now Central once again starting to slow the game down. They've got the lead. There's no need to keep pushing the ball. They just want to hold on to it at this point.
Ania Jones. Guarded by Finkenbeiner. 3:08 to go. Jones looks to get around. Can't do so. Now stutter step. Williams for 3. It's good! Claire Williams makes it a 6-point game with 3 minutes to go.
Huge shot by Claire Williams and one Central desperately needed.
But Megan Belt the other way!
My!
How about that for an answer?
It's raining threes, folks.
19 for Belt. 3-point game again.
We're at 2:40 to go. And they're double teaming Ania Jones.
Over to Claire Williams. Back to Jones. Inside. Little tip there. Watch out. Diving on the basketball. Looked like Millard South should have it.
I think
but they call a jump ball. Omaha Central's going to
so
keep.
it is Central's possession.
Yeah. Looked like that was firmly in
And
control.
Maybe Millard South or Central a little too unselfish there. It looked like they had a couple players with open shots, but they kept passing the ball around. And that's the only place where unselfishness can hurt you, is if you have an open shot, but you think somebody else might have a better look. Sometimes you just got to take the shot.
Ania Jones.
And she's going to dribble it back out again and take her time. That's the one thing that you've got to do here. You've got the lead. No need to jeopardize it.
Well, Webb is going to take the shot. It's no good. Out of bounds. Millard South basketball.
And Webb, after that great first quarter, has really struggled in the second half. Only 3 points, a couple of turnovers, and she does not look very pleased with the referee's decision. And now it's Juliana Jones back in. Millard South wants to have some height to be able to defend on that press.
Here comes Belt. Just over 2 minutes to play. South can tie the game with a 3.
4 and 1.
Yep, Chloe Lemon. Juliana Jones in the corner. Now under 2 to go. Here's the 3.
Oh!
Belt! Tie game at 71.
This is getting ridiculous. Megan Belt, 3 3-pointers in the quarter, and the Central sideline is going ballistic. No, the Millard South sideline, sorry.
Ania Jones gets fouled, and she'll go to the line for 2.
And
1:41 to go.
And that is 3 on Chloe Lemon. And this is basically what Central needed. You get to slow the game down, you get to take a breath, you get to stop, and you might get some points out of it too. But Jones has also kind of struggled. Only 4 points for her this half. She could make it 6 if she hits both, and she might need to hit both.
Oh, she misses the first. Misses the first. So that means she can only make it a 1-point game. Let's see if she can hit the second one. 1:41 to go. Jones. Oh, gets the roll. 1-point lead for Central. 16 points for Jones.
Here comes Megan Belt again. She's had the hot hand. Millard South calls timeout. They've dug themselves all the way back into this game. We thought they were dead in the water, but they're right back in it. And now the question is, what do you do on offense? Because you don't necessarily need a 3 or anything special to dig your way back in. You just need a score at this point. So do you go with Belt again? Do you go with somebody like Chloe Lemon, who's been fantastic this second half? Do you maybe try and reestablish Cora Olson? I know she's got 4 fouls, but she was incredible in that second quarter when they started to drag their way back in. But you need a score. The only question is who's going to get it for you.
Yeah, well, we know who Central's going with. They've been putting it in the freshman Ania Jones's hands. How about that trust? See if anything changes down the stretch here, potentially playing from behind. Millard South is going to have the basketball coming out of this timeout.
And the really nice thing that Central sees in Ania Jones is she's also their leading assister. She averaged 4 assists a game. So she can definitely pass the ball just as well as she can shoot it. So they trust her to completely run the offense, which is really rare for a freshman, especially at the varsity level. But the offense has kind of sputtered in this second half. The question is, can Jones pull out a little bit more magic like she had against Gretna?
1:36 to go. Patriots trailing by 1. The lead is theirs with a basket of any kind. Maya Babbitt gets a screen over to Belt. She's been money from downtown. There it is again, but it's no
you
good.
gotta hit those.
No good.
She had Ania Jones falling backwards. You gotta hit that shot.
And now getting blocked as well, but right there, missing the putback on the ground, somehow coming up with it.
And the Central coach jumps towards the ref to call timeout.
Yeah.
An incredible offensive rebounding performance from Central. I think it was Webb who got on the ground to get that ball. She put up a shot and missed. She fell down. Tip didn't go. And she was somehow in the perfect spot to grab the rebound. And looks like we're heading for a classic finish. An incredible play by Anaya Webb. She hasn't done very well on the scoring front this half, but she's done what she's needed to do to help Central hold on to this narrow lead.
And this wasn't even the most hyped of the 2 games we're going to see today.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
I mean, we're getting this out of the girls' final, the boys' final coming up with
Chucky
another 1
Hepburn,
versus 2
Hunter
game.
South in the I mean, I can see the Millard South team on the opposite side of the court from us, and they were getting hyped. Like,
yeah, when Megan Bell took that 3, I saw about half the Millard North
they
team
were jumping up and down.
Yeah.
It was incredible. This is just a great atmosphere.
Yep.
We've got 1:15 to go, and now if you're Millard South, you need a defensive stop, or at the very least, no threes. You can come back from a 3-on-1 possession. You can't come back from 4.
1:15 to go. Central will inbound from the baseline with Ania Jones.
No easy layups here either, because that's what Central's probably looking for.
Yeah, what do we have here?
Oh, a quick call.
Yeah,
that's on Miranda Kelly, I think.
Yeah, foul against Millard South right on the inbound, so that's going to elicit 2 free throws from Omaha Central
and
here.
that may not necessarily be a bad decision, especially if there's a missed free throw. You're ensuring that Central can get the full possession out of that. It's not a bad idea necessarily.
Keeps time on the clock, too.
First
free throw is good from Nye Powell.
But there are 2 things there. You got to make sure you foul the right person, and you got to make sure you're fouling with the right person. If either of those 2 questions are wrong, then you might be in trouble.
Powell hits the first free throw to make it a 3-point lead. Good.
And Powell has really stepped it up on the free throw game. 1 of 4 in the third quarter, 4 of 4 in this quarter. She's been key to help keep this lead alive for Central.
Maya Babbitt looking for space. Drives in on Claire Williams. Gets around. Gets the basket. And it's a 1-point game again. 9 points for Babbitt. Here comes Ania Jones.
We've got under a minute.
Yep, under a minute. 55 seconds to go here in this one. Central leads by a point. Anaya Webb, Claire Williams in the corner. Inside, It is taken away. Here comes Maya Babbitt. Chance for the lead. Babbitt straight ahead. Got it! And the foul!
Oh my goodness gracious!
Maya Babbitt. Millard South finally has the lead.
Holy cow, what a play from Maya Babbitt. That's only Ania Jones' 2nd foul, but it could not have come at a worse time for Central. That's the lead for Millard South for the first time all game.
And she converts the free throw. 12 points for Babbitt. 2-point lead for the Patriots.
40 seconds to go. And now the question is, how quick do you want to get the shot off?
Jones, straight ahead, looking to tie the game. Straight up, no good. Jones gets it back, kicks it right to a Patriot. And a timeout is called for. Millard South, an incredible comeback. But the question, can they finish the job?
I mean, here's the thing. You've got 3 players that you got to put the ball in their hands. It's either got to go to Megan Belt, Maya Babbitt, or Chloe Lemon right now. You could argue that it should go to Cora Olson, but she's in foul trouble, and you don't want to risk an offensive foul because then she's gone for the rest of this game, which could include overtime. So I say get the ball in the hands of Megan Belt and let her work. If she's got an open 3, she should take it. If she's got an open lane, she should drive, because you know that out of all those Patriots players, she is the most likely to end up hitting this shot.
29 seconds left.
And the press going to be all the way on for Central now. They desperately need a turnover or something that will result in Millard South getting no points this possession, because they have given up a huge lead, and they would really, really like to have it back.
So Millard South will inbound. Maya Babbitt is going to inbound, probably looking for Megan Belt. 2-point lead for Millard South. Here we go. Babbitt looking for an option, does get it to Belt, and she is fouled right away by Anaya Webb. So she will go to the line to shoot 2.
And
Megan
that's
Belt,
3 on Webb.
Yep, Megan Belt, who has carried the Patriots through this 4th quarter with her shots from downtown.
She had 8 in the 3rd quarter, all off 3s and free throws. Currently this quarter, she's got 11. Guess what? All off 3s and free throws. She is the shooter that they trust most in this situation, and they really wanted the ball in her hands.
She will shoot 2 from the line. First one,
oh,
no
boy.
good. And it will,
we've still got a ball game,
yep,
folks.
It'll remain in a 1-possession game here no matter what happens on this free throw. Second one from Megan Belt. Good. 3-point game.
She's got 20. And the question is, who's going to shoot this 3 for Central? Because you probably need a 3. Do you go back to Anaya Webb?
Timeout Central. They're going to discuss it.
Because Ania Jones, she's a great player, but she's not a very good 3-point shooter. She gets most of her points off of the drive. Anaya Webb was good at shooting 3s early in the first quarter. She had 2 of them in the first quarter, but she's gotten a little cold since. So the question is, for Central now, who do you trust to take the big shot? Because it's got to be a 3, and they've been few and far between for Central. It's only been Claire Williams, Webb, and yeah, that's it. Oh, and then 1 from Anaya Wayne. Oh, and okay, I guess Jones did hit 1 in the first quarter, looking back through the score sheet. So you've got 4 players who have hit 3s, but the question is, which one of them can do it in this situation? Because you know that's what Millard South is going to be looking to guard. If I'm them, like, I don't try and worry about the post. A layup is 2 points. Just don't foul them while they're taking the layup. But no 3s. You can't afford to give up a 3 here.
The inbound to Ania Jones, putting it in the hands of the freshman. Jones trying to go for the 2. Gets it to go. So now they're going to foul. Inbound. And they foul Maya Babbitt with 10.3 to go. So Jones with the 2-point basket. She's up to 18 points. 1-point game. Maya Babbitt will go to the line to
Babbitt
shoot 2.
has split her free throw so far, 1 of 2. It's a 1-point lead for Millard South with 10 seconds to go. So here are probably the biggest free throws of Maya Babbitt's life. She's only a sophomore, playing probably in the biggest game of her life, unless she was on the team last year. But these are very important free throws.
First one is good. Maya Babbitt with 13 points. And the lead is 2 for Millard South. Here comes the second, making it a 3-point game. It is good
right.
Off the bounce.
No 3s if you're Millard South. You can't give up a 3.
Here comes Jones. 6 seconds left. There's the 3. It is no good. Millard South's going to take it, and they're going to take the tournament. Back-to-back championships in the Metro Holiday Tournament. A stunning comeback for Millard South. What an unbelievable comeback. What a remarkable finish. And what a job by Millard South, down by 18 at one point in the second quarter, to come all the way back to win it all.
Yeah, just a great game from them. Incredible second half performance from Chloe Lemon. She's all over the score sheet. Most of it off free throws, but she did her job well. And then Megan Belt. How much can you say about the clutchness of Megan Belt? Incredible 3s, incredible free throws, and in the end, it's just enough for Millard South to sneak past Central with a win. What a great game. And I think that could be a potential state title preview, honestly.
Oh my goodness, yeah. Unbelievable stuff from those two. 79-76 the final. Millard South gets the win. Chloe Lemon with 23 points. Megan Belt also with 23. And on the other side for Central, 19 for Anaya Webb, 18 for Inia Jones, but not enough. What an incredible game it was, but we got an incredible one coming up next as well, with top-ranked Millard North and second-ranked Bellevue West duking it out for the boys final. Big name recruits, big name players all over the place in that one for the boys championship game. So stay with us. We'll have it right here in about half an hour on the Creighton Prep Sports Network.